For 3 years, you had a number. $85,000. That was the number where it would finally feel like enough. Where the tight feeling in your chest at the end of the month would let go. You worked, you waited, you got there. And you know what happened when you did? Nothing. For about a week it felt amazing. Then 85,000 quietly became the new normal. The tight feeling came back. And a new number appeared, like it had been waiting the whole time. 120. Then you'd feel it. Then you'd finally be okay. Here's the strange part. You already earn more than the person you were 5 years ago dreamed of becoming. If your younger self could see your bank account, they would think you'd made it. So why do you still feel like you're behind? Why does rich always seem to live just a little further up the road? Because the finish line you are running toward is not standing still. It is moving. And it is moving at exactly your speed. This is Money Mind, where we look at the psychology behind every dollar. We're not here to talk about stocks or crypto or side hustles. We're here to understand why you feel the way you feel about money and what that quietly says about you. And today's truth is one of the most uncomfortable of all. Almost nobody feels rich. Not the person on your street with the nicer car. Not the millionaire. Not even the billionaire. Feeling rich is not a number in an account. It is a comparison. And the comparison is rigged so you can never win it. If that idea stings a little, good. Subscribe, because this channel exists to name the quiet forces that have been running your decisions your whole life. The usual promise is simple. Earn more, and the money stress goes away. Hit the salary, buy the house, cross the threshold, and you will finally feel safe. Every ad, every guru, every finance video is built on that one idea. More will fix the feeling. But if that were true, the richest people alive would be the calmest, most satisfied people you know. And they are not. Study after study finds the same thing. Past a surprisingly ordinary point, more money stops buying more enough. The stress doesn't disappear, it just puts on a nicer suit. So if more money is not the cure, what is actually going on? In 1974, an economist named Richard Easterlin asked a question nobody had really tested. As entire countries got richer, decade after decade, did their people actually get happier? The answer stunned him. No. A country could double its income, fill every home with appliances and cars that a king couldn't have dreamed of a century earlier, and the average person reported feeling no happier than before. Economists still call it the Easterlin Paradox. More money for everyone did not equal more happiness for anyone. And 2 decades earlier, a psychologist named Leon Festinger had already found the reason hiding inside us. Festinger showed that human beings do not measure their lives with an absolute ruler. We have no fixed sense of enough. Instead, we figure out how we're doing by comparing ourselves to the people around us. He called it social comparison. And it turns out we mostly compare in one direction: up. Put those two findings together, and you get the thing running your whole money life. It is called relative wealth. Here is what it means in plain words. Your brain does not ask, "How much do I have?" It asks, "How much do I have compared to the people around me?" You do not feel rich or poor based on your bank balance. You feel it based on the gap between you and the people you're standing next to. Say it even simpler. Money is not a number to your brain. It is a ranking. And a ranking only exists in comparison to other people. Which means the moment you climb, the people you compare yourself to climb too, because you are now standing among richer neighbors. You get the raise, and you move into a world where the raise is normal. The gap reopens. The finish line steps back. Think of it like walking toward the horizon. You can walk all day, as fast as you like, straight toward it, and it will stay exactly as far away as when you started. Not because you're slow, because the horizon moves with you. Rich is a horizon, and your whole life you have been trying to reach it on foot. Maybe you're thinking, okay, but that's rich people, that's not me. Watch how this runs your life at every level. You get the promotion you wanted. For a month, you feel it. Then your spending quietly rises to meet the new income. Your new coworkers all earn what you earn, and suddenly the promotion feels normal and the next one feels necessary. You move to the nicer neighborhood you worked so hard for. And on that street, your car is now the oldest one, your kitchen the most dated. You didn't get poorer, you just changed who you stand next to. The gap followed you in. Once you see it everywhere. The raise. It felt huge the day it landed, and invisible within 2 months, Because your reference point rose to swallow it. The neighborhood. Every step up the property ladder puts you next to people one more step up, so you always feel one house behind. The friend group. The one who buys the boat quietly resets the whole group's idea of normal, and now everyone feels a little poorer without earning a cent less. And then the big one. Your phone. Social media is a machine that takes the richest, most curated slices of a billion lives and stacks them in your hand, all day, every day. You are no longer comparing yourself to your street. You are comparing yourself to the entire planet's highlight reel. The reference point didn't just rise, it went to the moon. And you wonder why your perfectly good life suddenly feels like falling behind. Now the uncomfortable part. This is not a bug you can outrun. It is the design. Because the horizon moves at your speed, it does not matter how fast you run. At every single income level, when you ask people how much they'd need to feel truly rich, they name a number about 3 times what they currently have. 3 times. Ask someone earning $50,000 and they say 150. Ask someone earning 500,000 and they say 1.5 million. Ask the person with 10 million and they'll point, with a completely straight face, at the person with 30. There is no income where the answer becomes, this. I have enough now. The finish line is built to sit just out of reach, forever, for everyone. Which means if your plan for peace is to simply earn your way past the feeling, you have signed up for a race with no finish line, on a track that gets longer every time you speed up. So what do you actually do? You cannot delete the comparing machine, but you can take the pen out of its hand and decide the game yourself. 3 ways. 1. Define your enough, on paper, in advance. Before the next raise, write down the actual number and the actual life that would count as enough for you. Be specific. When you name it in advance, you take the finish line away from your brain, which will always move it, and you hold it still yourself. A finish line you chose is one you can actually cross. 2. Choose who you stand next to. Your sense of rich or poor is set almost entirely by your reference group, and for most of us that group is now an algorithm feeding us the top 1% all day. So curate it. Unfollow the accounts that leave you feeling behind. Spend time with people who make you feel your life is full, not lacking. You are not being weak. You are choosing the ruler you get measured against, instead of letting a feed choose it for you. 3. Once a week, compare down instead of up. Not to feel superior, but to see clearly. Look at the life your younger self prayed for, and notice you're living inside it right now. Look at what you already have that money genuinely cannot buy. This is not a trick. It is simply pointing the same comparing machine in the other direction, at the truth it usually skips. And if some part of this made you feel exposed, hear this clearly. You are not greedy. You are not shallow. You are not ungrateful. You are a human being carrying a brain that was built to track your rank in the tribe. Because for most of history, your place in the group was the difference between safety and danger. That instinct kept your ancestors alive. It is not a flaw. The problem is that this ancient ranking instinct now lives inside a world engineered to exploit it, an economy that makes money every single time it can make you feel one step behind. The dissatisfaction is not a personal failing. It is a product. And you were never told you could opt out. So here is the quiet freedom in all of this. If rich was never a number, then no number was ever going to give it to you, which means you don't have to wait for it. You can stop walking toward the horizon, the one that steps back with every stride, and instead plant a flag exactly where you're standing and call it enough. Not because you've given up on more, but because you finally get to choose when more stops being the boss of you. The richest feeling in the world is not a bigger number. It is the moment you stop running toward a line that was always going to move. Plant the flag. Look around. You may find you arrived a long time ago. If this gave words to something you have felt for years, share it with the person you already pictured while watching. And subscribe, because next time we're going to look at another invisible force quietly shaping your life. I'll see you there.